There you go. I might go, oh my days. Welcome back to another session. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome in. Please subscribe so you can watch some more training and get some more workouts as we do this. We're gonna start with juggling, so if you're training with me, just grab that ball and start doing some kick-ups. If you're not amazing at juggling, you can add bounces in between to make it a little bit easier. And as we juggle for 2 minutes here, I'll just talk about kind of what it is that we're doing, or what it is that I'm doing, and what I'm hoping that you can maybe get out of this video and this video series. So my name is DJ Divany. I'm a professional freestyler. So I do shows and commercials, tricks and skills like this. And I've worked with some of the best players in the world, all over the world. I played Division I college soccer. And now I coach and train a lot of players at the youth level, high school, academy level, and beyond. And in these videos, I'm going position by position, just doing kind of workouts on my own that you can watch and follow along with, or even train with me if you bring your phone or tablet to the park. Whoa. Good point there. These videos are live to tape, so essentially what that means is I don't have the time, energy, or willpower to edit 6 days a week to make these videos. So I'm just filming them raw. So there's not going to be a lot of crazy drone shots or all types of different angles cutting back and forth. There's not going to be a lot of text on screen, but there's going to be a lot of mistakes because I'm just going to film 10, 20, 30 minutes at a time. And it's kind of whatever I do is whatever I do. And hopefully we'll have more good moments in this than poor moments. Today's session is center defensive mid. So commonly you're number 6, especially in a 4-4-3, where there's kind of a holding midfielder and 2 attacking center midfielders. And so a lot of this session is going to be technical focused. This I think is valuable whether you're a technical type of player like a Sergio Busquets, or if you're a physical aggressive type of player like a Mascherano, because we need to be able to take care of the ball. Part of our job is breaking up attacks, breaking up counterattacks, and transitioning the ball to start our own attacks, transitioning the ball to start our own counterattacks. So we're going to be working on a lot of short combos with rebounders and long passes out to the outside and diagonal pings. We'll also be working on winning loose balls in the air to disrupt the play. And we'll be working on some long shooting from about 25 to 35 yards, just trying to hit the frame with power. In the off chance we feel it in our gut, we have a great opportunity to shoot and we can go and score. Finish up that last touch juggling and rest. If you haven't already, do a dynamic warm-up. I've just pinned this one in the corner so you can kind of see what kind of movements I'm doing. So a lot less static stretching, a lot more dynamic movement. And now we'll do a little bit of juggling that's more structured for a center defensive mid technical type player. We're gonna do a lot of stuff where the ball goes really high, and then a lot of stuff where we're controlling that ball down to our feet out of the air. So I'll try to give some different levels of approach, so that way, if you're a strong player, you can do the version that I'm doing. If you're a decent player, you can do the version that I'm doing. If you're kind of coming back into soccer or new to soccer or younger, maybe you can do a little bit of an easier version. So level 1 is just going to be throw the ball up pretty high, chest it, and then use a couple touches to control the ball at your feet. For now, if you're not good at chesting the ball, just throw it a couple feet above your head. If you're good at chesting the ball, throw it higher. And we'll stop there. Level 2, you're gonna do the same thing, but you're gonna have an exit after you control the ball with the laces, and you'll hit the ball up with a first touch. Up, chest, control, and have some sort of movement into different spaces. And level 3, we'll start with some juggling. We'll hit it up high. We're gonna jump to chest that, then control and get out with the skill. Try to complete 5 quality sets. If the level 1 you did it and it's pretty easy, move on to level 2 and level 3. You can pause the video at any time to keep training more. Let's do level 3 right now, 5 sets. So juggle a few times, pop it up high, and jump to chest, juggle, some sort of skill. Also in my session, I'm positioning myself in the center of the pitch so that this is realistically where I might be as I'm playing. We're choosing today that goal that you can see in the video is the goal that we're going to, the goal that we're attacking. So for these first 3, I've been facing my own net, but now maybe I want to look and I want to turn that touch. Maybe I want to get past an obstacle. So we start progressing the juggling to be a little bit more valuable to our gameplay. Juggle up, I chest, I get out. Bonus, one more. Juggle, chest, get out. Anytime I'm doing something and I don't provide like different levels of ability to try the exercise, mostly to save time so I'm not talking too much, always think of, if you want to make it easier, do less and do it slower. So instead of juggle, 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 hit it really high, you would just like throw it. Oh my days. Okay. You would just throw it medium height and chest. If you wanted to make it harder, you might do a specific combo, juggling, then hit it very high and chest, and then a specific combo to get out. So you can always make the exercises easier and harder as you play. Now we're gonna use one of my favorite tools. If you don't have one of these, there's a link in the description. It's basically a soccer ball, but it's a triangle. What's gonna happen is when it bounces, it's gonna go in different directions. And we're gonna use that on purpose to react to this bounce. If you don't have something like that, you could use a football, like an NFL ball, and kind of do the same thing. My goal is to react and accelerate to the ball as quickly as I can and get a control touch and maybe a skill. I'm not gonna juggle this too much or do too many dribbling skills because it's awkward and difficult. I'm trying to react to that first bounce and get a control. So again, level 1, just kind of throw your football or whatever up, get to it in as few bounces as possible and control it. Level 2, you might kick it with your foot. And level 3, you can start with a juggle. If you get one of these, it's not as challenging as you would think, but as soon as you hit one of those corners, the ball just goes kind of funny. This is a great way to work on your focus, your reaction time, and your first touch. So let that bounce, I react, I get out. Same thing, I'm just gonna do 5, and then I'm gonna move on. Need to be tighter with my session today so I don't lose light, so my phone doesn't die, so we get this in. Wind's starting to pick up, so some of this longer pass stuff will get harder, but I'll try our best. Up, read the bounce. 2, I'm gonna try to do 3 more a little bit higher. Hopefully I stay in frame, but so you can see this thing kind of bounce different directions. If it bounces straight up, then it's easy, no worries. Last one. So that was a nice one. Even as that ball's up in the air and coming down, what I'm starting to do as the number 6 is I'm starting to get in body position where I'm protecting that ball. So worst case scenario is I can shield. All right, leave that there. Finish your stretch, warm up, juggling, get a drink, and we'll move on. So I got my little coaching clipboard here. Today we're working on this like number 6 position. So a center defensive mid, basically a player who has probably more defensive responsibilities than attacking responsibilities, but also a player that needs to be technical with the ball to be able to keep possession and distribute the ball a lot to these wide spaces and diagonal in behind to the half channels, like long balls with good vision, over the top and through, starting counterattacks and also stopping counterattacks, whether you have to foul or whatever. So there's kind of 2 main types of center defensive mids. You can be a very technical and skillful center defensive mid, so like a Sergio Busquets. Not that he can't defend, but obviously his traits are very tactically aware, technical, to play that through ball, play a short one-time pass, keep possession, hard to dispossess him. Or you could be another type of player like a Mascherano, or like a Gattuso, like someone who's like really physical, really aggressive, willing to get stuck in, break up plays, willing to take yellow cards, even in the middle third or defending third of the field, and just kind of disrupt things. And it's good enough to be able to start a play, but not necessarily like making a whole Ronaldinho type movement, obviously. So today we're going to be working more on that technical kind of center defensive mid, where it's a lot of me controlling the ball out of the air, winning maybe headers or loose balls, playing short passes square, playing long passes square or diagonal, driven low passes on the ground, driven high diagonal balls into the half space, and then maybe some long range power shooting from like 30 yards with an open net. Now that I've gotten that covered, I'm going to start my exercises. As a reminder, this is more of me training and coaching myself, trying to work on some activities that I might do with players that I do private training with, or club academies that I do group training with, to be able to help individual players. Me going through that exercise is a good way for me to work out and stay fit through the game that I love, working on mastering the ball, rather than going for like a 5-mile run or just going into the gym. And it's an opportunity for me to work on the things that I'm trying to show players. So when they're going wrong in certain spots, I'm more familiar with really what's happening as the player, and I think that helps me have a good perspective as a trainer. So this is not for me to necessarily coach you. This is not for me to act like I'm some type of talented player. This is just me working out, and you're welcome to do the session with me. If you do, make sure you're cleared, you're physically able to train, and you're training at your own risk. I have a little bit less and a little bit more equipment than usual, so I'll go over that real quick. Obviously, some soccer balls, missing one, but I have 3 footballs. I'm planning on getting probably a bag of 10 going forward, so that these sessions are a little bit more efficient for me to do and a little bit more realistic for like training and getting more reps quicker without having to chase the soccer ball too much. And I just need some new ones. This red one is not very good. And then I have this guy. This is a reaction ball. Are you fucking serious? Usually for goalkeepers, but I use it for regular gameplay. And it's really great to kind of bounce off the ground and then react to where it's moving, so that you have to kind of get onto it and get a first touch. Similar to how in the game, you might be playing on a lumpy grass field and the ball bounces weird, or the ball deflects off a defender, or a defender mistouches it, and you have to really move quickly, get after the ball. A lot of the times, football matches are won on bursts of speed, who can react and get to the ball over a distance of 5 to 10 yards. And so that reaction ball really helps me work on that skill, regardless of position. But for center defensive mids, especially breaking up a play and then countering going forward to attack is really important and valuable. If you want one of these to challenge your reaction time, your first touch, maybe your juggling, control of the ball, you can get one in the description below. I just linked that at Amazon. It's not too expensive, and it feels kind of like a regular football, like it kicks similar. It's just that it's in the shape of like a triangle type deal. So it's pretty funky, but it also just makes the training a little bit more challenging and more fun, especially if you have a good first touch and you're a good athlete. All right, there we go. I'm gonna stretch a little bit here. I'm gonna roll out a little bit. I'm not a huge believer, which is weird, I guess, in the science of like foam rolling, but like objectively, but subjectively, I feel good when I do it. Especially like calves and quads. I feel like it helps me be a little bit looser, a little bit more prepared to move for my session. It just honestly feels good, like a massage. So just do it for a minute or two. This one's nice because it folds pretty flat, so you can put it in your bag, and it's pretty narrow, so you can take it with you. And if you want one of these, it's in the description. Oh, I hope that's on the microphone. I'm actually getting away with one here. It's pretty warm out. It's not as windy as the weather app said it was going to be. So, should get something good. All right, first technical movement here. We're going to have 2 rebounders, so these are both Quickplay. One on this side to my left is the regular version. It's pretty affordable. The one to my right is the XL version. I use them for different training sessions. Sometimes I have a player who's a little bit higher level, and I want them to play the pass from much further away. So the bigger one allows you to kind of play a 15-yard pass into the board and not worry too much about missing it. All we're going to do right here as the center defensive mid is just work on switching the ball from side to side. When you're using a rebounder like this, play the ball firm so you play a realistic pass and you get a realistic pass back. And it's important to imagine that like my teammate is not standing where the rebounder is. My teammate is probably 5 to 15 yards further away. So I want to step into the ball a little bit. And all I'm trying to do is just sit in the middle in this pocket and switch the ball from right to left, back and forth. First round is going to be about 25 seconds on, about 40 seconds off for 3 rounds. And my idea for the first one is to be maybe 75% speed, and I can do any type of passing and turning I want. So no restriction on back foot, front foot, laces, inside, can kind of use anything. If you don't have 2 rebounders, you can use 1. And you can just work on turning, looking up, switching back, playing that side again. But I think if you can get to a level where you're training a lot on your own, and if you need to train a lot on your own, having 2 of these or even making your own out of wood can be pretty useful. And I'm choosing that the goal that we can see right now is the goal that we're attacking. So as often as I can, I'm trying to face up towards this goal. As I play, I'm trying to limit the amount of time I face away from my own goal, unless in a match I had real pressure that I had to protect the ball. 5 seconds, here we go. Especially on this first one, I'm just trying to be really clean, take care of the ball, try to work different touches, both feet, maybe come back to the same one sometimes. And rest. So I have 30 seconds rest or so, 40 seconds rest. So it's like a 1 to 2 work to rest ratio, close. Same thing, but each time I might increase the intensity a little bit, get a little bit lower, more athletic, play the ball a little sharper, quicker, faster. I recommend having a second or third ball as well, in case it does bounce over or miss the rebounder. You can continue your play. If you happen to miss and make a bad pass, maybe sprint to it to fix the play. All right, here we go. 4 seconds, and we play. Since I have the freedom on this first one, I'm also trying to mix it up and not do the same thing every time. And if you can tell, the rebounders aren't square to me. They're a little bit diagonal back. What that allows me to do is sit at a little bit of a deeper angle. So it's not a square ball to a square ball. It's maybe diagonal square, or if I'm coming back, it's maybe a little bit of a drop. What I'm gonna try to look for on this last one is to play some from a little bit higher so that it drops for me. And I'm gonna try to adjust my body position so that I'm drop stepping behind the ball to face the field. Last round. So that one right there is what I'm looking for. That one right there. That one, yep, open. So it could be one time to play. It could be back foot, front foot, behind the leg. Control push. And rest. So I'll have a new version. Rebounders are the same for now. But I might turn this Blazepod on early here. What I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna have different colors to play the rebounders, a color to exit towards my own goal through this red gate to like protect the ball and maybe restart a play, and then a color to beat this pressure into this pocket in the next space, to beat the pressure and break that line to get up the field. All right. So if you haven't used Blazepod before, it's this little light. I can control it from my phone. I'm setting it to random, and I'm giving it, let's just go 2 colors. So if it's red, I'm gonna go through that red gate. I'm switching it back to my center back, rebuilding the play, drawing out the defense who are maybe in a low block and bringing them out so that we can go forward. And on blue, I'm gonna beat this pressure that's in front of me to either of these pockets. I'm gonna set the delay between the light to random. So it'll be on for 2 seconds, and then it'll be off between 1 and 5 seconds. If it's off, I continue to play the rebounders. Then when it turns on, I go red back or blue forward. We'll go 30-second rounds again with 30-second rest in between. Maybe 25-second work. All right, here we go. So this light will be on now. I play, it's red, so I'm gonna go back towards my own goal and reset. And I play, I open blue, so I'm attacking that space. And then I reset again. So now I have to scan up the pitch like I would in a match to play the board. Instantly makes it harder. I'm in a small space, so I can't look away from the ball too much. But in that moment, if I see it's blue, I want to take that gap on the first touch. If I play it and I see it's red, I want to switch back away from the pressure that's coming up and reset, playing to my center backs, to my full backs, maybe drawing out the defenders more. Here we go. Mistake. Well, I have the tapes, there's no cuts here. So anytime there's a mistake, it's just gonna be in there. Wasn't too bad though. Nothing fancy here, we're not really using skill moves. We're not taking the opponent on 1v1. It's just that if the ball comes to us and the pressure's maybe overcommitting to me, I can just take a first touch, pass them into space. Hopefully break that line, and then I can be looking up the pitch to play that next ball, maybe in behind. And if it's not on, play it to the outside to possess. A few seconds. That time it was in the run of the dribble. We play it. And rest, and time. All right. So just did basically a good 4 minutes of like high intensity repetitions. Again, if you only had one rebounder, you could just dribble and then switch back. So hopefully we got a good bit of work there. Take a rest for 1 minute, get a drink, and then we'll level this up. All right, back from that drink, we're going into the next level of this same exact setup, except the progression is going to be to play the ball wider and further out of this pocket. So I played short with the right mid. Maybe I step into this pocket and I'm playing diagonal. I have a yellow gate to my left and I have a green gate to my right. I think I'm gonna move you so that we can see this yellow gate. Lighting should be okay. Here we go. Red and blue are still on. So I don't know if you can see that yellow gate there. That's gonna be my outlet target, my left midfielder, left winger that I'm trying to hit. When that light turns yellow, on the opposite side I have a green, which you won't be able to see, so if I miss, I'm gonna try to miss the green. All right, here we go. Blue. I'm gonna try to play a little bit quicker as well. Smash the green. Yellow. It's a little bit behind. Green. All right, the greens were actually on, the yellow sucked. Yellow was a bit behind my play, which is fine if we're just trying to keep possession, but it might mean that that right winger has to come back to the ball, drop it to the fullback, or drop it back to me or to a center back. These dogs worry me, man. Just running loose out here. So we'll reset and do the same thing, 2 more rounds, trying to find those outsides. If you don't have Blazepod, or you don't have 2 rebounders, use 1, use a teammate, use a wall, make a piece of wood, play your pass and turn back, and you can just make little targets like cones, or you put a bag out there and you're trying to hit that target from 25 yards, 30 yards. And we're trying to do a low driven pass. In the first session with center attacking mid, we did a long driven ball in the air, a ping, probably 30 to 40 yards. 45 yards. Today we're hitting like 30 yards, but like low and accurate. So let's see if we can get a couple good sets here. Round 2, I'm also going to try to be a little bit sharper in my gameplay. The purpose of this is not to sit here and wait for the light to turn green and then do this and then hit it out there. The purpose is like play, scan, green, tap, send. It needs to be a little bit sharper for me. Let's see. There it is. All right, hit that one high, but it was quite nice. Definitely to my teammate there. So I talked about transitioning quicker. I didn't get a good touch out of my feet, but back to red. Back up. Nice. I cut it a little bit, but that set was significantly better. The yellow one that I hit, I don't love because I kind of rushed it and lunged at it, but hit it with the outside of my left foot. I think it got through that gate to my teammate. It could have been hit harder to get to them quicker, but I'm confident I released that ball before the pressure was too high. So let's go reset one more time. Let's have our best set on this last round. Last set here, looking for even sharper going between the rebounders and an even sharper transition to green and yellow to hit a low driven ball outside. I hit a high one good, hit a Travella okay, but not enough of them have been clean low driven passes. Last set. Oh, that's money. Good. Yellow. Oh, it's a great one to finish on. Hit it right in the gap. All right, we'll pause it there. We'll get a drink. I'll catch my breath. I'll kind of lightly review what I was just doing. A couple coaching points for myself. And then we'll move on to the next exercise. And then we're going to combine these like 3 exercises together. Let's go. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're feeling good. Let's keep it going. All right. So next up, we're going to have a little bit of less technical and a little bit more physical. And before I get into that, the last drills we did bouncing it between the rebounders and then trying to hit low driven balls diagonal to the outside is a situation where maybe I'm intercepting a pass or receiving a ball from the sides or from my defensive players, and then I'm switching the ball, distributing the ball to the outside. Those ones are not meant to be killer passes into the half spaces or over the top to my striker. They're meant to be maybe switching the ball from side to side, not even diagonal necessarily. So we're not necessarily getting forward to goal on those plays, but we are getting the ball out of the center, out of a tight space with a lot of pressure to a wider open space where my teammates can then combine on the flank or look to swing the ball again. So as a 6, part of my job when we have the ball, I think, is to help manage the movement of the play, keep possession, and look to start the building of the play, whether it's from me distributing the ball or it's from me being able to see the field and be able to direct and help where that ball should be played and where it should go through communication. It's not necessarily me being the one who's doing a give and go, getting it back, running through the middle, and then shooting and scoring. It's me sort of managing that play, almost quarterbacking, almost point guarding, but I'm not quite a number 8 or a number 10. I'm a little bit deeper. And as much as I might be hungry to go forward and score, sometimes it's my job to just sit a little bit deeper in case my teammates get stuck, or in case we lose the ball and we can stop that counterattack and look to win the ball back again. On the sets that I did, I think it was good. I don't think it's my best form ever, but I think I was kind of happy with a lot of the touches, a lot of the bounces off the rebounders, and most of the balls to the outside. If you were to do an easier version of this where you don't have 2 rebounders, you don't have a Blazepod, what I would recommend for like a level 1 would be to pick one of those targets, pick one of those turns, and just do one at a time, and just try to do a really clean set. So that would be like, I play it wide here, you know, I'm training on my own, so maybe I'll stopwatch, Tabata timer, or someone's working with me and they say go. I play, I'm doing back foot, front foot, low driven. Or maybe different, maybe it's back foot, low driven. And then maybe the next round that you do another set of 10, you go back foot, cut back, low driven to this side. And you just do those kind of one at a time. So this way you don't have to worry too much about making different decisions from scanning your shoulder, but you get more clean repetitions at doing one thing. The tough part about going into a match is that that option that you've practiced might not be the one that's on, and we have to see the one that's going to be the best decision for us as often as we can. So switching it up now. Sorry I talk so much. I swear it's not because I love hearing myself talk, but I just want to make sure that whoever's watching it kind of understands what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and why I'm doing it. So the next thing that I'm doing is I'm creating a play where the other team had the ball, and then there's a loose ball, whether someone tried to drive it over the top, or it was a punt, or there was a tackle and the ball popped out in the air, and I'm trying to win the ball in the air. Most of these I hope I can get to and control with the chest, bring it down on my feet, play my rebounder, or go through this red gate to end my play. Or I might be getting up and clearing a header diagonal to the outsides. So what I've done with my quick play rebounder is I flipped it so that it's going to bounce up in the air. And this is the flat side. It has a bumpy side that's unpredictable, but I'll be able to see where this one goes. So like a level 1 is going to be play here, control, and maybe look to reset. So I'm just winning a loose ball in the air. As I get going here, I'm going to look to play the outside and manipulate the ball. And as I get more comfortable, I'm going to look to play this ball a little bit harder so that the drill literally becomes harder. So sometimes what happens with this is, even if I play it pretty hard, the way the ball spins and bobbles before the rebounder, pops out and just kind of dies, I need it to really bounce up in the air. See, even that one, I'm just like waiting for it. It's kind of boring. See if I can really fizz it in. So that's a decent example of just a clearance, yeah? Good. Oh, geez, I missed the board. This is similar to the left wing drill that we did on the side, where I'm just chesting it. But all these are good, even if I'm just controlling the ball for now. That one's nice because I had to work for that chest control. And on a lot of the chest controls, you'll see me here try to change direction of the ball, because as the ball is coming this way towards me, especially as it's going towards my goal, that other team is coming towards me. So it's unlikely that I can just go straight at the ball and through. If the ball is coming from this side, then probably I could like hit this gap. But since it's coming to me, I'm assuming that the pressure is coming towards me. And so it's like I want to go outside with my touches a little bit more. So a couple good ones in there. I have to kind of, even for me, get the hang of playing the ball so that it goes high enough to head it. And even the ones I'm heading, it's like I don't need to, but it's something that I want to work on as a 6. Just disrupting that ball over the top, or that diagonal ball to the half space if it's low enough and I can get it early, I'm trying to win it. I think the hard thing about winning that ball is even if you win it, if you haven't directed it to a teammate, it's still loose right here. So that's why I'm saying as often as I can, I'm trying to drop, step back, get up and chest it so that my team has the ball. But I want to get some of these where I really have to get up and clear it, hopefully towards a right or a left midfielder, or my number 10 or my number 8 that are closer to me. So in the game, as I'm tracking that ball, I'm also like looking to see where my open player is. So my first touch can go to my team instead of being looser, go to their team. Let's collect and reset and make it maybe a little bit harder. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna try to do a few minutes of this continuous, and I'll just kind of play and coach myself as I go. But the only change I'm going to try to make is just try to be a lot firmer with the bounce. And so sometimes I might go straight at me, sometimes I might go over my head. So just bear with me if I have to turn and track the ball towards my own goal. But that's also a valuable moment of like collecting a loose ball and turning to face up or playing it back. So let's see what we get. I don't love those ones because it's so easy for me. That one's better. That was ugly, but I'm still struggling to get one that's like I need to get up and head it because it just dies there. I like those. Like maybe you add that on the drop. Couple skills. And on all of these, off. So to be honest, I'm not really getting the bounce that I want. So if you wanted to really just work on clearing headers, I think maybe it's a game of a high loose ball, get up to it, and just head that as far as you can. So I'm just gonna do a set of 2 sets of 3. Let me get the ball. 2 sets of 3 headers. I'm just gonna do the first 3 to my left, and the next 3 to my right. Level 1, just throw this up. After it bounces up, get up and try to get some power under it and head it away. It's not gonna go very far because the ball's just dropping. It's not moving towards us. But just some repetitions of winning the ball in the air, center half. Just have to be able to do that pretty well. And the other side, same thing. Level 2, we might go, level 2 and 3, let's go a couple touches up, and off that bounce, we'll get up and clear it. Let's try to make sure the high ball that you send is straight up or in front of you. Give you guys a little spice here. Best center half skills in the world. So it's up, out of frame, so far out of frame. Maybe I'll follow through it and collect it. Another idea is I can move that rebounder so that as I get to my own header clearance, I can play it, receive it from my teammate. Same side. I like that one with obstacle. Forced me to challenge myself a little bit. One more. I don't like that one. I don't want him to spin back. I want to go to it. Let's see. Again, it's live to tape, so bear with me here. If you're training on your own, you kind of have to do what you need to do. So I jumped too early. I got to jump later. Good. Same thing when I'm going to angle it, jump, head it to the right. Nope. Okay. Good. That's one. This is not something that I prefer to train because I'm not tall. And so it's very much a disadvantage for me to go up for headers, but one more. Under it. Good. Jog and reset. I'm gonna go back to this rebounder, but I'm gonna create a real loose ball situation. What that means is this rebounder has like bumps on it. So what happens is when you play the board on this side, the ball is gonna bounce in different directions. And I can have an idea of where it might go. But in the end, I'm going to have to really react to where it does go. Again, we'll put it on an angle. So we have to collect it and get it out. I'll still have that rebounder there, that's fine. We'll do a few minutes of this where I'm just literally just fizzing it off the rebounder, finding different controls, different exits. And now, as much as I'm working on my first touch and skill with the ball to control it to the floor and be able to play it to the outside or back, I'm trying to just react and get there first. So this is not a pass coming back from a number 10. This is a loose ball. Or if it is a pass, it's a bad pass. It's in the air, it's bouncing, it's spinning sideways. And every time you play it, it might be a little bit different. So we have to go and find it. Once we do this, we're gonna add the Blazepod with all these different decisions and have to figure it out and handle it. Okay, I should be in frame. Let's see what we got. I like that. Get rid of that ball. Easy one, eh? I might go, oh my days, you love to see it. I'll talk about that touch in a second, but oh my God, beautiful. And a lot of what I'm doing is not only reacting to it, but I'm trying to have that touch super under control, even if it's toward my own half, because like with the loose ball, unless I have someone wide open and have a really good chance to like get us into goal off of this first touch, side volley, whatever, with the bouncing, most of the time it's this loose ball is a ball that we're trying to win possession of. And so what I'm trying to do is react and get there as quick as I can and have a good first touch where, unless it is absolutely on to go forward or break a line or play the pass, I'm kind of controlling it here for safety. I want to control it there as often as I possibly can. But if we just worked for 2 minutes to defend and disrupt their play and win the ball back off this loose ball, the last thing I usually want to do in most times of the game is just get here and just kind of kick it somewhere or dribble into pressure and lose it again, and worse, be out of position and then give up a goal. So if like your team's working to win the ball and you're the 6, you can disrupt the play, win a loose ball, intercept the pass. See if you can keep the ball. We'd love to go forward, absolutely, as often as it makes sense to, but we'd love to not have to defend for 90 minutes. We'd love to not have to turn over the ball for no reason and get scored on. The reason that, and this is the last 20 seconds that I'll talk here, I'll do another set. I love doing this simple drill. This is level 1. This is level 1. The control is going to be up to your ability, but the drill is just hit it off the board with some pace on an angle. You don't know how it's going to bounce or come out. And the one touch, I mean, the ball just came up here flying in the air, and this is going to their number 10. And I don't have time with the speed of that ball to back up and win a header, right? Maybe I just got caught out of position, but the ability, the athleticism maybe, to like track this and get here and stop that play and then keep it for our team is like exactly what this exercise is kind of about. And I'm not saying that like this is what I want to do, but it's just an instance where that's what I had to do, and I was a little bit skillful and a little bit lucky to be successful. Train. All right, so let's work for a second here, and we play. That one's high, rebound, open. We play, get a left foot in there, just nice, control it, keep possession, play it in again. Cruyff behind the leg, find my teammate to bounce it. I go forward, find the right, high one. Again, Cruyff turn, I'm switching the point of attack there. Chest to turn, rebounder, my pass back, lefty again, off of it, get it out. Recover, let's do a few more. Love that. Sometimes I want to play it behind me, like pass myself on purpose, so I have to track that ball because that's the game in it. I like that one because I'm turning forward. Last one as I get tired. Rebound and rest. Oh, it feels so good. Get one of these rebounders and do this drill. Center defensive mid, do this drill. Center attacking mid, do this drill. Strikers, do this drill. Fullbacks, do this drill. Center backs, do this drill. Because this simple pass and bounce off this unpredictable rebounder is half of the game, reacting to where that ball goes on the fly, getting a good touch to help your team get to goal. It's incredible exercise. I'm having to really work for it. And obviously the faster that you get it and the faster that you reset it, the more work rate you're putting in. So you could dial it down or you could crank it up. But just like, it's like doing a wall training, passing it off a wall. But with this, I have to be pretty precise in my pass. So this is like I'm playing it into the feet of my number 10. And then it's just a change of play where the other team has it, or my teammate played a really bad pass off one touch back, or he went to pass it, the defender stuck their toe out and it bounced in the air, and I just have to react and collect it with a good, clean touch. So good. So as I coach myself here, there's like 3 phases of that exercise that I'm really trying to get really good at. Anticipation, reaction, and execution. My anticipation is when it leaves my foot, I'm trying to, as best as I can, predict where that ball is probably going to go. And even though it's bumpy and unpredictable, I have information when it leaves my foot. Just like I have information when the ball leaves my teammate's foot or when I play it to my teammate. Information might be, how hard did I play it? With that board, I know that the harder that I play it, the faster it's going to bounce back. Since it's on an angle, the higher it might go. The angle or the contact point, that information tells me where the ball is going. And so if my contact point and angle is a little bit left diagonal, I can be a little bit more predictive with this board, even on the bumpy side, that it's more likely to go this way. That one didn't. So that's what's really nice about the bumpy side of the board. But I start anticipating where it probably might go. Then as it hits the board, I get the new information, which I have to react to. How quickly can I get that information and know where the ball is going and going to be, and then prep my body to go and do it. That's happening in 1/10 of a second, hopefully. Hopefully I'm not asleep. And then the execution is like physically having the movement of the body and the control of the body to get there, and then the control of the ball itself, and finish the play, whatever we're doing next. Anticipate, react, execute. Those are 3 things that I like to tell my players and that I like to remember as a player when I'm training, and then hopefully it becomes second nature in a game where I'm not consciously thinking about, I have to anticipate, I have to react, I have to execute. I'm just doing it. But as I'm training and I go into this, I'm really prepping my body the whole time to do exactly what I want to have happen as best and often as I can. Let's leave that there, get a quick sip of water, and then we're gonna add the Blazepod to finish out this part of the session. It's gonna be really good. All right, starting to lose the light a little bit here, but hopefully maybe I just brighten up the shot a little bit. Last gameplay combo. When I train, even if I train on my own, I try not to do like super simple ball mastery stuff. I just don't enjoy it that much. So like just repetitions of like something like this, I'm not gonna sit there and do a lot of. So I might do other sessions where I'll post like 30-minute ball mastery workout, where yes, you can get a great workout from it, great touches on the ball, repetitions on the ball. Ball mastery is valuable, but for me, I like training like I'm in a match, and I just think that like this is not training like I'm in a match, and I'm gonna get pretty monotonous about it. And even if I'm getting quality touches on the ball, I feel like it's not translating to me playing a match, me playing a game. And not that I am playing in matches, but I like to train like I am. So what I try to simulate is something that like you would see if you were at a team session that you would have to do with the ball as you play. Last sequence here with the Blazepod. We'll have the 4 colors again. We'll be playing off this rebounder after we play it off the front rebounder and we react. We're gonna have blue to break this line on the dribble, maybe through this gap. This train's killing me. Or through this diagonal gap. If there's no light, that's like 3 times in this session. If there's no light, I'm gonna continue to play the boards back and forth. If it's red, I'm collecting the ball and I'm just getting through my gate. This is like my safety. I'm going back to my own team. And if it's green or yellow, actually for the sake of this, no, I'll leave it, it's fine. You won't be able to see me hit the green one, but there's a yellow gate way over there. It's about 40+ yards. And this is going to be a higher driven ball because I'm gonna have to skip maybe 1 or 2 midfielders, and maybe get it over the right fullback to hit my winger past that yellow channel, that yellow gate. So just one more time, red, I go back. Blue, I attack these spaces to break this line of defense, this defender. And it's not that like I'm attacking this player 1v1, it's that I'm reading blue meant that like this player went for this 50-50 ball. I got there first, and I'm just getting out to break that pressure. Green and yellow, I'm as quick as I can hitting a long diagonal ball all the way to the outside. So not quite into the half space, into the box for them to run behind the fullback, but diagonal for them to control and maybe get a 1v1 or a cross. All right. And this one, I'm just gonna let this one run until I'm out of my soccer balls, and then I'm going to collect and reset. This will be the last kind of activation, but this is kind of putting all the pieces together, the short passing and turning, the breaking of the line on the dribble, the shifting the ball back to the defend, reacting to a loose ball and winning a loose ball or a 50-50 ball to break up the other team's attack, and transition us forward with a long pass in the air. Ready. See what we got. Set. So it's red, so I'm gonna go right through that gate and again play. It's red again, so I have a nice control. I reset, maybe I'll play my board on the side. Red again, take it back and get up. Play up, blue, so I'm just gonna break this line here. Now maybe if I do blue, I kind of jog back to reset, and then I start my play over. Red, protect the ball. Lots of reds, no yellows yet. There's green, so I react, and I play it outside. So that one I hit into right, probably the left center back. Is not a good ping at all. Let's see. It's a little bit better, but I probably hit that defender in front of me. Whew, so the long ball is not good. I'll run to reset in a second, but as I go back into yellow and green, I have to see it sooner. I have to set up my touch better so that the ball is out of my feet, and I have to ping it. The ball is too soft, too low, and too narrow to have a good play come out of this. No good. Let's jog to reset. And I'm just gonna work until I get some good ones. So you'll hear me talk about this a lot in correcting my own gameplay and in my approach to training. And I talk about this a lot with the players that I coach. I have to find, especially when training on my own, training with a team, it's easier because the real defender is really there. You know, my teammate is really making the run. I have to find the balance between urgency and control. Urgency is how quickly and explosively can I go and do something? How quickly can I get the ball from the rebounder, see green, and then send it over the top? Urgency. But I also have to find composure so that I can do what I'm doing well. If you have too much urgency, you end up rushing, you end up panicking, and you end up making a lot of mistakes. If you have too much composure, then like you would have made a nice pass, but you're closed down so quickly because it's taking too long. So if I can find the balance here between urgency of like my speed of play and composure of hitting good technique, especially on those longer balls, we're gonna have a better go at playing this position especially. For example, if you're a striker, your urgency might be how well can I shake my defender and get in behind, be on the same page as my number 8, have them send me a ball in. And the composure being, well, once I'm in and I control it, can I finish it and actually score the goal? If I rush and miss, then it was for nothing. So let's try to find that balance between urgency and composure. Do this whole play with some quality exits to yellow and green. Ready. Start off the high rebound. Red, I collect, go through the back. Red again. Nice touch. Play. Blue. Not the best exit up to the top, but that's fine. Red. Now, it was blue, but by the time I got it, it was kind of done. Yellow. There you go. So, just pausing it there, I didn't quite hit it far enough, but it's driven. It was straight through the yellow gate. It was in the air over maybe there, center mid. So maybe I'm okay. Maybe my winger helps me out. But the bottom line was like, all of this was quite sharp for the most part, except that blue one. And when I went to play the rebounder, it had already turned yellow. So my head's up and it's like, I see that play is on. And in that moment for my training, I just talked about finding more composure. So as it leaves the rebounder and I go to control, it was pretty easy. I'm just taking a breath for a half second to make sure that the ball's out of my feet and I can send the ball. 2 soccer balls left and we'll finish this out. Hopefully the last 2 can be good. Green. So it's better, not amazing. Play the top, it's red. Take it back, take it up, yellow. So that was the one I was talking about earlier. It was like, if I just won the ball back, I don't want to waste it. And so I just wasted that one because I thought I could side volley a left foot, a weak foot, 40-yard diagonal ball for the content. Live tape's gonna stay in there. It was just garbage. Like, maybe my left midfielder tracks back and can save that for us, but it's probably out of bounds, or worse, their winger maybe strips that one and it's going to our goal. So I'll reset these and I want to do 3 more quality diagonal balls over the top. All right. I think this has been a great workout so far for me. I'm really loving the work that I'm doing, just kind of sitting in this pocket in the middle and working with the sides, especially working with this loose ball and having good reactions and first touches. And then playing this longer pass is obviously more challenging for me because it's not something I do a lot. When I do play football, it's like pick up street soccer and futsal, or even like 3v3s. So I'm not getting a lot of like, all right, I'm gonna hit a 50-yard ball over the top. So it's just good practice, something that's a little bit more challenging than what I'm used to, which can be frustrating, but I think we need to challenge our body, mind, and spirit more often than we realize we do. And so if you can do that a little bit, I think it feels good once you do get it right, or even if you just challenge yourself. What I'm not doing today, though, is I'm not playing with my back to goal. I'm not playing with my center backs or my full backs. So in the next center defensive mid session, it's gonna be a little bit flipped from this. It's gonna be a little bit less of facing forward, receiving the ball or intercepting the ball facing our goal, and a little bit more of turning and exiting the ball out from our defensive third into the middle and the attacking third, having to check over my shoulder. But for today, finish out hopefully 3 good ones here, and then we'll do some shooting and penalties. All right, hopefully last set. It's good. Could have hit it further, but it's on the money. Pressure, I take it back. It's a good moment there. It's too narrow. Oh, that's not a good one. Sometimes like, it's just you get the bounce at the wrong time and it's like you see it, but it's not great. And what just happened was like, I wanted to hit that with the left, but I was gonna botch it. So that one's a good ball, but it's into the half space. That's maybe between the center back and the full back for my winger running. But it's just not what I am training. So I gotta go again. I gotta hit it much wider, especially on green. I'm nervous because I have this obstacle. And you might think, well, DJ, you hit it here. like that went into their chest, but by the time I control the ball in this space, like probably this player moved like this to close me down, so that I'm exiting to create what would be the window to send the ball most of the time. Doesn't mean it's perfect or anything, but gotta send that wider and higher. Let's go. I don't want to finish with this red ball, so let's go with this one. Rebounder. I control, I play. It's yellow. Still in between. It's too narrow. It's too soft. Oh my God. All right, this last one has to be good. I'm getting gassed. Through the red. There's a green. Out of my feet. Good. There's a bit of headwind here. It's between about 10 and 20 mile per hour wind today, so it's a little steady at like 9-10 miles per hour this way, and then it'll be a gust of 20. When you hit a ball higher in wind, it's gonna die a little bit faster. Either way, I can't ping a ball 60 yards, so like that's on me. But if you see the ball die a little bit early, part of it's the wind. I'm gonna leave that where it is. I think the strongest attribute that you can develop as a center half from a technical side is being able to play that ball or this ball 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards, side, diagonal, over the top into the half space, especially when switching the ball or looking to switch and then reversing the ball the other way can be super, super dangerous. Tony Cruz, Steven Gerrard, Pirlo, right? These players that are sitting in and just dropping in dimes left and right. However, if you're not amazing at it, there's gonna be a lot of times where you force that ball. Some of those you'll get lucky, but a lot of those are gonna end up in turnovers. And you might win it back up there and it feels like it was okay. But at a higher level, it's like you're forcing the play, you're making a bad pass, and more often than not, at a higher level, you're gonna have to defend. So the one thing that you can master quicker is these shorter, simpler combinations and turns, taking care of the ball for your team, winning possession, taking care of the ball, and like organizing play rather than rushing and turning the ball right back over. So I'm gonna leave that for now where it is, losing daylight. I wanted to get some long shooting, which will actually go this way, so we have a little bit of wind behind us, and then we'll do a couple penalty challenge to finish. But hopefully you enjoyed watching or maybe even doing some of this session. Feel free to always do more of an activity or less of an activity and ask questions of things that you want to see more of, less of, things that you want to learn, positions that you play, where you're from. I'd love to hear and know more about who might be watching this video, especially this far into the video. It's an hour long already. And it would just always, makes me feel really good and purposeful if someone out there gets something out of the workout that I'm doing. The reason that I don't edit this super cool and stuff like that, and the reason why I let the video just run so long is that I don't have to spend a ton of time editing because I have to work and make money. I don't make money doing this right now, unless you buy the stuff in the description. So for me, it's like, how can I get a good workout in and not invest a crazy amount of time editing and producing this footage? So if anyone watched this and got something out of it, please let me know. It'd make me feel really incredible that someone got something out of this workout. And ask any questions that you might have in any way that I might be able to help you. Not necessarily trying to be your trainer or your coach, but I love this game and I love working with the ball and training this way for my fitness rather than going on the treadmill in the gym, even if it's cold outside, because I just feel more at peace and good in my body when I'm on a football pitch more than probably anywhere else in the world. So finish with these long shots. We'll see how it goes. Try not to pull a hamstring, penalties, and we'll be done with the first center defensive mid session. So I'm going to be doing some longer shooting. The blue cone, if you can see it here up to the right on the hash mark, that is 30 yards from goal. So 25, 27 meters. With a little bit of diagonal to the far post, maybe it's 30 meters. So pretty far. So if we're beating a professional goalkeeper in a real match at that distance, we must be smashing the crap out of that shot. And so I am going to try to hit these pretty hard. Unfortunately for you guys watching, I am not the best shooter. I cannot hit the ball more than 70 miles per hour, which is like fine. You know, a prime Cristiano Ronaldo is probably tipping 80 miles per hour. So top pros are hitting a bit faster and more consistently. So I might only tip that kind of speed on my shot like 1 or 2 times out of 10. The rest of them are going to be at like the 60 range. And the harder, faster I try to hit it, usually the less control like I tend to have. So bear with me if this ball sails into outer space or just gets cranked to the corner flag. I'm just going to do what I can. And instead of just rolling the ball out of my feet and hitting it, I'm still going to try to set up a little bit of a play. If you don't have a rebounder, you can just control the first ball out of the air. And then you're going to try to play maybe a 10-yard pass to a board, a teammate, a rebounder. Depending on how that comes out, I might step into this one time. I might take a little prep touch. I might roll it out of my feet. The further back it is, the more I'm going to prep touch or roll it out of my feet. And part of that is also to confirm that no one is stepping to block this shot. So if you've seen like Man City, Vincent Kompany score that like crazy long driven goal, his teammates were yelling at him not to shoot. He felt it in his gut that he should score a goal. He rolled the ball out. No one stepped to him. Bang. Goal. And it was a game winner as well. If you have 2 boards, we're going to put this on the bumpy side, if you got it. If not, just play it. We're going to react to our first touch, take it to the board, from distance try to play it, set the ball, and the first couple I'm going to try to hit from maybe this line, 25 yards. I don't have the goal target up because it provides too much pressure to try to have a perfect shot. The wind's really picking up. And so it's just an empty net. It's like I'm really just trying to get a hard shot on frame. And if it's right in the middle and the goalie saved it, for now it is what it is. I'd love to smash one to a corner. But at this stage in the session and in my training and with my ability level, we're just going to see what we get. I'm going to try to do maybe 9 attempts total, sets of 3. And I'm just going to try to, after that, if I didn't get it by the 9th one, finish on like my best set while I have a little bit of daylight left. So here we go, round 1, play. Oh, that was really bad. Went right over my head. So I play, collect, rebound, prep touch, I hit. On frame, bottom to the right. It's a bit slow, so it's most likely saved, but it's fine. Play, correct it, drive. Fizz it in. This one I'm going to hit. Now, to be fair, it was a freaking decent shot, eh? Decent shot with it's not even a football, it's a freestyle ball. I hit it one time. Let's see. Correct that. Bang. I'm still going to take a touch. It's moving a little bit, eh? Had a little something on it. It's right in the middle, but you never know, there might be a rebound. They might feel like they have to tip that one over for a corner, especially if like you're younger and the goalkeeper's shorter. You might be scoring that goal. I'll leave that other one for now. That one's in the street. So we got 3 in. Out of 10, I think all of those were between like a 4 and a 7 in terms of the quality of the play and the shot. So let's see if we can get like a couple 8s, 9s, maybe a 10. Hit the dead spot on the board there. Get in there. Oh, the rebound's on. The first session, center attacking mid session, we had a rebound where I was doing pings and I hit the bar again. Looked really nice. I really tried to hit that one and caught it absolutely wrong. That is not bad. And maybe for the sake of time, I might finish on that one because I think that's quite a good shot. The run of play was a bit slow to set the ball and shoot it. But from past 25 yards to the side, right in the corner, a little bit of movement on it, I think it's pretty good. At any rate, you get the idea. If you wanted to spend a lot more time on shooting, set up some type of reaction or control out of the air, set up some type of target to pass to, where they're laying it off, setting it, passing it back, or this might be a clearance that just becomes a loose ball and you collect it at 30, 32 yards. No one presses you, you have an open shot, and you're just hitting it, okay? I would, if I were the center defensive mid, and I'm trying to play football, I would do almost all of my repetitions of this on my strong foot in an area where I'm realistically getting that opportunity and I have a realistic chance to take the shot. I'm not going to, for me, do this on the left because it's just going to be so much worse and I'm just so much less likely to maybe find myself there in my game. And then when I am there, I'm not going to want to do that with my left foot. Maybe you could shift it to your right. But I'm only doing my strong side when I'm taking that big of a risk to try to score from this distance. If you're more ambidextrous than me, do both. But if you're like me and you're only going to do one side, make sure you set a limitation to the number of reps that you're going to do. Especially if you're older, you're in your 30s, you're washed up, you don't need to be cranking 140-yard missiles and the next day you're like this because your hamstring is all jacked up. So I did 9 or 10, whatever, 8, had a good one. I'm gonna call it a day there. We're gonna hit 4 different types of penalties and then we're gonna wrap up this CDM session. All right. Penalties. Now, if you're a technical center defensive mid, you might take penalties for your team, or you might be likely to take penalties in a shootout. So that's one of the main reasons that if I were a footballer, I would practice penalties. If I'm a penalty kick taker, I should practice so that I'm good at them, right? So that I'm confident when I'm asked to step up to the spot. The other reason is I never like to leave the field before scoring a decent goal. I just scored a quite nice goal, so that'd be fine for me to finish on and leave on that 25, 30-yard strike to the far post, but I love finishing with penalty kicks because another reason is it allows me to try different types of techniques, which is what we're going to do in today's penalty challenge. And the last reason is for the players that I train, I like to provide them a little bit of pressure when they're fatigued at the end of the session to step up for themselves, for their team, and be able to deliver a goal. I have them do 10 burpees usually if they don't score, if I save their penalty kick. And it's not to be a punishment because they did bad, but it's to provide pressure before they strike the ball to maybe make them a little bit nervous. In a game, there's nerves that creep up when you step up to the spot for your team and you're in the spotlight and expected to score. So you have to be able to tune out the noise, you have to be able to dial in and focus on the task at hand and try to make sure that ball goes in the goal and deal with the consequences if you don't score. Can you follow a rebound? Can you get your team another goal 5 minutes later if you happen to not get it in? You know, whatever. Or maybe someone from your team went in the box early or the goalkeeper left early and like you have to take a second shot, whatever. So today's challenge is we're gonna complete 4 techniques. Each time you complete a technique to the quality of your satisfaction, I'm not there to judge. So if you think it's good enough, you can go to the next one. Each technique is a checkpoint. So the first technique is inside of the foot, pass. So I pass it into the corner side netting off the post to either side, your choice on the corner, but that one's gonna be hit to the bottom corner. The second technique is a smash. So pass, smash. We're gonna hit it with the laces to either side. It cannot be on the ground, but it doesn't have to be in the top corner. It just has to be a realistic goal. Third technique is going to be trivela. So you start from opposite of your strong side, you go outside of the boot to the far post. And the last technique will be panenka, where we're trying to be deceptive to run up like we're gonna hit a smash technique, and then we're just gonna dink the ball maybe into the middle or to the far side. So here we go, first shot. Now this one is not good enough for me. I talked about this in the other sessions, but like when you're hitting the ball with the inside of your strong foot into this area, in my opinion, is probably the easiest and most likely place that goalkeepers will make a save unless they guess to the other side. So if you're gonna use the technique that I just did, I think you should try to make it tighter into the corner or with a lot more pace. Let's try again. So that was a great shot. I actually hit it harder and higher than I want it to. So I'm just gonna do one more, just to kind of. There you go. So I'm just tucking it right in that corner. It's rolling on the ground, but it's a moment where I'm not rushing to the shot. And as I'm doing that simple technique of inside pass, my eyes are glancing up, and hopefully I've already seen the goalkeeper start to show to that opposite side, and I pass it in my corner. So that's checkpoint one. Now we gotta crank this ball. I'm gonna go to the weak side. I think that's quite good. I think that's struck really well. It's low. I would have loved to smash the ball high in the corner, but I hit that quite hard. The sound off the metal is quite nice. So, Trivela. And for a challenge, see if you can do these 4 techniques in fewer attempts than it takes me. I think I could do a better one. I was gonna say for time, I'll leave it there, but I think I could do a better one than that for you on the fly. Live to tape, so mistakes will be in here if I miss this. Oh, there it is. I jinxed myself. All right, so that's 2 attempts on Trivela. Let's get it on this third one here. Oh no. Trivela, Modric. Good. Last one, Panenka. Panenka is not a hard technique to do. It's not hard to hit the ball this way. The hard part is making your opponent dive, making the goalkeeper dive to either side. So we start from a bit further back. We tend to be a player who tends to hit the ball quite hard, so that hopefully the goalkeeper has seen us shoot penalties, and so they're gonna dive. So we just make them believe that we're doing that, and then we chip it right down the middle. I'll try to go for you, Zidane, crossbar down. We'll see. Start from the back. So even on that one, like, we'll probably score there. But I don't want to follow through. I kind of want to stop, so let's see. That's better. I'm still following through and running towards the goal. I don't think that's terrible, because if the keeper happens to get a pinky toe to it, I'm there to knock it back in. But like maybe you want to stop your run and just dink it right in. I'll do one more that goes straight in the goal so it's not so pathetic, and then we'll be done. Let's see. All right, last shot. So we're gonna try to run up with speed, sell a smash, and then hold our position and dink it in. Good enough. If you can see well enough before you hit it that the goalkeeper is like loading and getting ready to dive to like this side, you might want to open your hips more and Panenka it this way, just to give yourself a better chance that if it's really slow, they can't recover. But hopefully you make them believe that you're going to hit it so hard that they just guess and dive out of the middle and you score a nice goal. That's it for today's session. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I really hope someone out there got to take this to the park and try to do some of this. The stuff with the bumpy rebounder is so valuable for any footballer. Just work on passing, anticipating, where the ball is going to move, reacting to where that ball moves, and then getting there and executing good touches and manipulations of the ball. So if you don't already have someone to train with, get a rebounder like this Quickplay one. I'm not just trying to sell it. I really believe like the bumpy side of it is a quality product. So if you find another one that has a side that has an unpredictable kind of surface to it, use that. You could hit it off a tree stump, you know what I mean? Like just something where you have to react to that ball moving when you don't know where it's gonna go. Work on that explosiveness getting to the ball as a center defensive mid, breaking up the other team's play, and then controlling the ball to win possession and or transitioning the attack towards the goal. We use the Blazepods today to make some different decisions with that, combining short passes with long, wide, and diagonal passes, whether it's over the top or low and driven. And we even got into some long shooting, which I had one really good shot. But, you know, if you get a moment in the game and no one's trying to stop you from shooting and you feel good about it, trust your gut, and in the right moment, hit it. And it could be the game-winning goal in a championship match, and you just took a risk to do it. The other side of it is, if you prove that you could score from 30 yards, the other center half now might step to go block you or step in the way, and now maybe that passing lane opens up for a combination, or maybe you can beat them with the skill to go by faking the shot. Maybe it's the first minute of the match and you get an opportunity, and it's just a moment where you get to test the keeper, and if they're not awake or not ready, they might let one slip in the first minute of the match. So we work on a little bit of long-range shooting. Whether it's long-range shooting or long-range passing, it's very difficult to master those skills, especially because if we do it too much, we're gonna cause some like injuries, muscle strains. So make sure you limit how much you're doing of those exercises. In the next center defensive mid session, I'm gonna be doing a lot more of bringing the ball from my defense to my offense rather than from side to side. So make sure you subscribe and tune in for that next center defensive mid session. Let me know in the comments what session you want to see, or any questions or things that you want to say or talk about. I'm happy to help. I'd love anyone to get something out of this video. It'd make me feel amazing. And if you are subscribed and watching, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next session. Let's do something cool. That was not cool. Hey, let's do a sombrero. Hey. Hey. Oh, what a way to finish.